Sunday Times 2012 Top Brands Awards took place last night, and Tiger Brands' Coup division took first prize as South Africa's most favoured brand. That was the category. Joining me now in studio is Mabaso, who's managing executive of the Groceries Culinary division at Tiger Brands. Hi, Zin.
Hello.
So Coup, it's an old South African brand. It's one of those, literally a household name in the sense that it's in the household, but it's also a brand that's been around. Why is it the most favoured brand? I mean, you weren't the judge, but judging the thing, but what are the factors that make it the most favoured brand?
I think there are two factors that contribute to this brand. A, it is a household name, and the consumer has been consuming it well over 70 years in its history. The second thing is that it's very well entrenched in the hearts and minds of the consumers. And South Africans, you know, when they have ownership of a brand, they take it seriously. Perhaps
a bit of a surprise in terms of, you know, think of brands like Coca-Cola, these big monolithic global brands which just have big firepower. Yet it's not Coke, the most favoured brand. What would have made it be ahead of the pack this particular time, do you think? Have you done particular work with it?
Well, it's the second time, because last year we also pipped Coca-Cola to this position, and we've continued to do the brand building work on this brand, and it really is about being able to speak the South African language, provide consumers with quality products, and really I think that's at the crux of this brand.
Of course, one of the problems with branding is that, and I speak with some experience having worked at SA Breweries for a while, where their brands are their business, and the monolithic company brand is behind the individual brands. You've got to be very careful that you don't fall in love with your history, that your history isn't more important than your vision of the future. So if you've got a great brand, it's tempting just to keep it as it is because everyone likes it, not realizing that you have to continually move. So what have you done to the brand?
So what we've been doing is to try and keep it relevant. South Africa is a fast-moving country, and consumers are moving forward on what they want. So whilst the brand gives them the stalwarts, your Coup baked beans, your peas and your fruit, we've gone into other categories, into meal solutions that bring the new eating patterns and understand the need for convenience, which is what consumers really are looking for in this hectic environment, and also to start taking, I say, taste and real South African products like sampan beans, which is something that, you know, is traditionally
but for many years it didn't occur to anyone to tin that. It was a traditional food, but didn't think of putting it in a tin.
So as we look at the trends, we keep on bringing more products that are authentic South African products, but that move us forward to what we're eating in this environment.
What about the health side of things? You know, new, for example, research on sugar, the effects of sugar, on salt. There's pressure from the government on bread makers with salt. The low GI and so on. You've got to be careful there, because the consumer want certain foods, and maybe it's not good for them, and you need to wean them off, but hey, you want to sell the product.
I think that is a fine balance that we have. The joy in this brand is the fact that it's vegetables in the main and fruit in the main, which you can then deliver in an authentic way.
So you happen to be on the right side of the nutritionist.
We happen to be on the right side of the nutritionist, but there is work that we still need to do in terms of the old products, in terms of bringing, you know, sugar, sodium, and that type of work. There's still quite a bit of work.
Then you've got all your children, the brands. I mean, you told me that you've got All Gold, Fatties and Monies, Black Cat, Coleman's, Cross and Blackwell. These are all very well known, again, household names. But you've got to be careful. You've got to keep them in balance with each other. I mean, I know they're not all the same thing, so it's peanut butter or spaghetti. But they each want their investment, and you've got to balance this, haven't you?
It's really a fine balance when you sit with South Africans' heritage brands and iconic brands, and All Gold remains South Africa's iconic brand in the Beale study that was done. And really what we do is we pitch the brands up against each other, because in some of the categories they actually
they do compete.
So where they compete, we pitch them against each other, because our value says let the brand that the South Africans want, you know, win. best brand must win. But it's a fine investment balance. We can't steal from one brand to invest behind another, because they're equally as important in the space that they play with in the consumer's world.
What about when you have to kill one of your children? When one of the brands just falls out of fashion or just doesn't work anymore, and you've actually got to take a decision? Has it happened to you?
It hasn't yet happened to me where we've had to kill one of our children. And I think that would be a tragedy, because as brand custodians, we are entrusted with brands that these are over 100 years. I mean, Koo is the youngest of this lot that we've just mentioned. So it would be a tragedy if we wanted to kill, you know, any of the brands. And the reality is we're tasked with a very difficult task of keeping them all alive.
What worries you most, given the economic conditions that we have? When we were talking earlier, consumers have been under pressure. Food, of course, is a necessary purchase. Everyone has to buy it, but you know, you can choose what you buy. So to what extent is your branding affected by a consumer that is always looking for value and a price?
What concerns us the most is the fact that we are premium products. Whether you're looking at Koo, we're a premium product. And therefore we need to maintain a sense of quality, which means that there's cost involved. And as you can see, and you were talking earlier, there are huge cost pushes coming down the line, be it in your inputs costs in terms of the raw materials, be it baked beans, be it tomato paste. We're experiencing some serious hectic cost push coming in, never mind the conversion costs, which we can manage. So how do you preserve value to the consumer? So we've got a high standard which we must maintain, but we must also give value to the consumer, and it's a big challenge in this way. The consumer's cash strapped.
Well, a good balancing act, and challenging for you.
Yes.
That was Mabaso, Managing Executive of the Groceries Culinary Division at Tiger Brand.